Hello everyone, Christopher Beast here, and in today's video we're going to be covering what potential weapons may be getting added to Vigor in the upcoming updates. For this video I will not be referring to the 0.8.9 leak. If you don't know anything about that, I would highly suggest you go down to the description. I've already made two videos on it, one where I talk about the weapons, one where Bobo Rail talks about the weapons. And generally speaking, a lot of those weapons have actually come into the game in newer updates. Greatest example being the FAMAS, which was leaked back in that week and just was added to the game this update. So moving on from what the 0.8.9 leak told us, the next source of what possible new weapons we can possibly get is, of course, the walls of the bunker. On the walls of the bunker, you can see every single weapon in the game and what skins you have equipped on it. And there are three weapons in particular that actually don't exist in the game but are on the wall. One of these three weapons is a revolver, which evidently seems to be the SWSH. If anyone played back in 0.8, this was a revolver from that time. Very good. It was a gold revolver, did a lot of damage and a lot of stagger. And I'm pretty looking forward to it coming back. Really, if you want to think about it mentally, just think of a better, more expensive combat magnum. The real-life version of the SWSH is the Smith & Wesson 629, which, because the fact the SWSH is the SWSH 629. I will have a picture of the IRL SWSH on screen now. Moving on to the next weapon on the wall, we see a small shotgun. This shotgun, much like the revolver, has already been in the game. It's known as the KS-23. It is a small secondary shotgun, meaning it can be used in the secondary slot just like all pistols and knives. Fires shotgun rounds and really wasn't good past 5 meters. Think of a IZH with half the range and possibly even half the damage. It's also a blue rarity gun, so it wasn't exactly a very good weapon in 0.8. I do expect some changes to it when it gets re-released and possibly a better rarity, with it being lower and cheaper, or with it having more range or something. On that note, though, the IRL version of the KS-23 is also called the KS-23. It's a Soviet shotgun, and I am showing it on screen now. The next weapon shown on the wall is a weapon we've never seen in Vigor before, which is the Uzi. The Uzi is an Israeli SMG that I'm sure all of us are very knowledgeable on because it's a pretty common gun in most other games. The Uzi fires 9mm parabellum rounds, which will make it very interesting seeing as it's another parabellum gun. I think the Uzi could be either a primary or a secondary, and we're really just going to have to see when it drops which class it's stuck in. The Uzi will perform well, really no matter what rarity it's given, and should be a very fun gun to see in the Outlands. So now we're going to switch from weapons that were leaked with the bunker to weapons that used to exist in the game and most likely will come back. So starting off that list, we have the AKSU. This was a very good assault rifle that was blue rarity and fired 5.45s. Very cheap, was fun to use, and had medium to short range pretty much down pat, as it had a faster fire rate than the regular 74. I think a lot of people would enjoy this weapon coming back, and I know I would. Next up is the M60 machine gun, which is basically an American classic. I really do miss this weapon. I think it would be a very good fit in with the current line of weapons we have in the game. It doesn't really work like any of the HMGs or LMGs we have in the game right now, and generally would just be fun. I remember back in the beta, it was a very fun weapon. So I'm hoping we get this one back soon. Next up on the list is the shotgun, the Remington 870. This one was also in the game back in the beta, and it was an uncommon shotgun. This thing was broken beyond repair. It was extremely powerful, and if introduced to current Vigor, would be practically unstoppable by really anything we have. The reason it's unstoppable mainly lies in how fast you can pull the trigger between shots, and mainly due to how not expensive it is, as it's an uncommon weapon, meaning a lot of people would be able to get their hands on the Remy, and a lot of people would use it to its full potential, as it also only uses shell rounds, which are cheap. If Remy's coming back into the game, something needs to change with it, whether it be damage or something. But Remington 870 used to be in the game. The final weapon from 0.8 that we don't have yet back in the game is the SPAS-12. Everything I said about the Remy applies here, except 90 times worse. The SPAS-12 was a purple weapon, which meant it was really expensive. Actually, in-game it was called the Lashiev 12, but it's the SPAS-12. It had insane range, even 4.8, in which shotguns had already insane range, insane fire rate, and really just completely dunked on the rest of the purple weapons. I think if introduced into modern Vigor today, would be the strongest weapon by miles. While the Remy might be the strongest weapon and might have some contention at mid-range with the G3 and long-range also with the G3SG. But really, the Lashiev was completely broken, and if brought back in the game, would need complete overhaul, and a lot of things would need to be done differently with the gun. However, I do want to see it come back, as it's an interesting design, an interesting concept of a purple shotgun. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Christopher Beast. Didn't take me that long to make this one, but the plan is for this month, we're going to try to aim for daily uploads. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm wishing for the best. If you enjoy, slap a like, put down some comments on your thoughts, subscribe if you want to see more, and in the description there should be 2 links to 2 Discords that I hang around on. I'll see you all next time.